Hello, everyone. My name is Shaunesse Jacobs, and I am a fourth-year PhD candidate at the School of Theology under the direction of Dr. Wesley Wildman. And with him, I am also a fellow at his Center for Mind and Culture. And what I'll be talking about is maternal mortality within the confines of a data challenge that was sponsored by the Eunice Kennedy Shriver Institute. So this project was actually taken on. I suggested it to Dr. Wildman, trying to figure out different ways that there are connections between adolescent pregnancy and maternal mortality. And one of the comorbidities that we wanted to examine was preeclampsia. If you don't know, preeclampsia is a condition of high blood pressure. During pregnancy, it can impact different organs, and it also can lead to organ failure. And then it can advance to severe conditions known as eclampsia. And so one of the age groups that is underrepresented when we talked about eclampsia is adolescents. Anyone who's existing at extreme ages of pregnancy often have a lot of issues when it comes to economics, when it comes to diet, when it comes to household income, many different factors. So what you see here is some of the conditions that we researched to understand what the problem may be when it comes to adolescence during pregnancy and how that impacts maternal mortality. And the big question we're trying to really navigate is how does household income correlate with heightened risks of preeclampsia, which lead to heightened experiences of maternal mortality and morbidity. And what we decided to do was look at different socioeconomic factors, specifically those that impact diet, culture, education, and culture within households specifically, to figure out if there's anything that reflects individual health status. So with the data challenge, we got access to a data set that encompassed approximately 10,000 participants, all who experienced pregnancy for the first time, and their pregnancy experiences were tracked over the course of a year, especially the 6 weeks postpartum, to figure out what different impacts were occurring within their pregnancy health. And through that data set, we extracted any variables that connected to age, race, income, anything connected with diet, specifically supplements that exhibited magnesium or calcium, because those are two of the supplements that can lead to preeclampsia if they aren't consumed in heightened levels, and different diagnoses around preeclampsia, whether it was a temporary condition at the time or they experienced throughout the entire pregnancy. And one of our modelers was able to run a series of ANCOVA and ANOVA tests in our studio, along with multiple regression analyses to figure out what different relationships existed between these different factors within the data and how these people were experiencing pregnancy and what their overall pregnancy outcomes were. So here you see a number of examples of the tests that were run in our studio. Because of the data challenge, all information is kept confidential until they announce winners within the next week. Hopefully we'll be one. But you see some of the examples of the tests that were run and what our modeler was working through after data extraction. One of the most important factors that we found was that regardless of the data we extracted, regardless of the relationship between preeclampsia diagnoses and pregnancy outcomes, income was the #1 factor in determining if someone was going to experience preeclampsia and how it impacted their pregnancy. And that was across maternal age, extreme maternal age specifically. So those who are adolescents and those who experience what we call geriatric pregnancy. What the literature suggested was that, yes, there are relationships between race and nutrition, but the more money a person made, the higher their access was to healthcare, the higher their access was to continued care throughout their pregnancies and the supplements that they needed in order to support a healthy pregnancy. So from this, we were able to realize that we want to continue working within this data set to create policies that impact what healthy outcomes look like, especially across income stratifications, and the different ways that we can contribute to increasing the supports that people have, especially where they are existing along the geriatric age spectrum. And so we are looking forward to waiting for the results, and also to figure out what our contribution will be post those results and the policies that we want to suggest from this data challenge. Thank you.